Hello, my name is Jim, and this channel is dedicated to branding, creating your brand, growing your brand, developing your brand, everything related to brand development and brand growth. So, I'm a marketing professional and I've been in the field for more than 20 years. And I find that among all people in business, whether they have their own small business or corporate executives, big businesses, medium enterprises, everyone recognizes the need for branding. It's just that not everybody has been trained to have the right understanding of what brands are, how they are created, how they are nurtured, how they are developed, and how to achieve brand health and brand growth. They Most of the people focus on the business growth, whether it's product, sales, company growth, and sometimes the brand is kind of like left behind, trailing. The business actually is faster in growth than the brand. The brand sometimes neglected. And some people they do quite the opposite. Some people they just focus on brand and then forget about the business. So that doesn't work either. They have to go hand in hand. The business leads the branding. So the branding is supposed to. We don't do branding just for aesthetics, right? So branding is supposed to help the business. That's the whole purpose of branding. It's supposed to help the business grow, right? It's just a store of value, store of impressions, a store of reputation, of everything related to this company, its products, its service, everything. So we need to have some kind of a container to put all these impressions, all these thoughts and feelings about this company, and that's what we call brand. Brand is a store of value, store of impressions about a company, its services, its people, its products, and its overall culture as well, right? So I don't want to dwell too much on what is branding and what branding is not, because I think most people have an idea about the importance of the brand. They have an idea that brands exist for a purpose, for a business purpose. It's just that very few people have been trained to actually know what are the best branding practices to create and grow the brand. So the purpose of the video today, I don't want to make it a long video. The purpose of the video today is to tackle the first step, right? The blueprint of the brand, which we call the brand model. So this model I've learned because over my career, my marketing career, because I've dealt with a lot of branding consultancies globally, and I've acquired some of the models that they use to build big brands. I worked on global brands, so these are the actual models they use to build and to solidify the understanding or the blueprint for their brand. So why not use them, right? They are simple in nature, simple, but they're not easy to implement, and we'll see that later. But simple to understand, right? So that's the key. That's the first key. That's the first step. So what we're going to do. So let's look at the brand model. The brand modeling exercise. What is a brand model? The brand model is the blueprint of your brand. Why a brand model? Why do we need to have a brand model? It's because a brand has to have, you're creating something, an entity, something that has a certain look and feel, and maybe illustrated by a logo, and visual identity, and a website, and brand assets, and brochures, and all that. So how do you brief people? And content as well, content initiative. You write about your business and about your brand. So how do you brief all these people to develop these assets for you? Or if you're doing them yourselves, how do you do that? Is it just for aesthetics? Oh, that looks good. Yeah, this color looks good. Let's put it. Or that statement seems fine. Let's do that. If you do that the whole brand is not consistent among all of your different brand assets, right? So there's inconsistency, and people they don't like inconsistency. Why are these people talking like this, and over here on social media they're talking differently? In their blog they're talking about something else, and their website doesn't look like their brochure. So what the brand model serves is to anchor the brand. It's a blueprint for the brand, for everything, for visual representation, for the spirit of the brand, for the focus of the brand, the vision, what is important to the brand values. So all of these things are encapsulated within that brand model. So it's a very, very important exercise, very critical exercise, and fundamental exercise to building a brand. Otherwise, you're not building a brand. You're just communicating here and there without any kind of, strategic flow or base, right? So without further ado, what is this model that we're talking about? The model consists of 6 different elements that actually constitute the fundamental blueprint of the brand. So they're very simple. So let me explain each one in a nutshell, and then maybe we can have other videos focusing more on each aspect, right? Because we cannot achieve everything in this video. So what is the first element of the brand modeling, the brand model? It's the brand essence. What is the brand essence? In a nutshell, the brand essence is one attribute of the brand that is most dominant within the brand, right? So if you think of, like, for example, perfumes, right? So some perfumes, they have elements in the ingredients, but some elements are more dominant than others. For example, some perfumes are floral, right? So jasmine, for example, that's a dominant. That's the essence. Or citrus type, right? So that's the essence. It might have other things in it, but the dominant ingredient in it is citrus or jasmine or whatever. So the same thing with brands, right? Brands can be about everything. Like, it can have products that serves many purposes and have many advantages, but we cannot state all the advantages. We have to identify the most essential ingredient in the brand and identify that as the brand essence. For example, some brands, they are about simplicity. Some brands are about quality, right? So, for example, some brands about luxury. Okay, Mercedes-Benz, luxury. Volvo, safety, right? So there's an aspect about every brand that is dominant, right? BMW, performance, right? So not only automotive, we can talk about other things as well. Nike, just do it, right? So it's about action, taking action, right? So that's the most essential part of the brand. So they actually highlighted, and everything, all their communication is geared towards that aspect. So that's very, very fundamental. But the only problem with the essence is that you cannot start the brand modeling exercise with essence, because it's the most difficult to identify. It's the most strategic. So you have to do the rest of the steps and go back to that essence and just identify it. That's the only caveat in this situation. So moving forward, the rest of the steps are easier, right? So there's the brand vision. You created the brand, right? Where do you want this brand to achieve? Where do you want this brand to be? You're creating an entity, a certain image, right? So how do you want this brand to be 5 years down the road? How do you perceive it? Do you see it like dominating in the market? Do you see it specializing in certain aspect of the of your industry? Is it a niche? What's so special about it? What do you want to actually be in a few years' time as a brand, perceived as, right? So that's the brand vision. That is something very related to it should be easy for business owners or corporate executives to identify, or at least top executives, to identify what this business is all about and what it's trying to achieve. And then there's a counterpart to the business goal or business vision that is translated into a brand vision, right? That would serve this business vision. It's relatively simple, right? Another aspect of the brand is the values, right? So not only do we have vision and this is what we want to be in the future. I want to be, known for the best quality in this industry. That's the vision, right? But also, we don't achieve this vision at any cost. We're not going to take advantage of people. We're not going to, be dishonest, whatever. So there has to be standards of operation for the brand. That is very important. So these are called the brand values. So that means, what does the brand value? What are the code of standards that the brand will not actually go below, right? And that is, like, for example, expertise, honesty, transparency, knowledge, innovation. So it could be about anything. But once a company, a brand, sets their value system, they have to actually communicate it to their employees, and everybody has to abide by it. From service agents, call center, salespeople, anybody representing the brand, top executive, CEO, everybody has to embody those values. They cannot break those values because these are the values of the brand, right? They have to uphold them. So that's what the brand values are all about. Standards of conduct, very important, because it's not only about achieving the vision, but also holding ourselves up to a certain standard, right? And then after identifying the values, we get into the brand mission. So what does that's a bit tricky for a lot of people. What is the mission? The mission is the reason for your company to exist. Why do you exist? You don't exist just to achieve a vision. You exist to do something good in the world, in society, to provide a certain value. So you ask yourself a question: why do I wake up in the morning every day and go to work? What to do? What is it that I'm doing, right? Other than making money, other than getting your salary or compensation, from the company or the business or revenue, other than revenue, other monetary, what is the reason for you to do, or for a company to do the things that it's doing, right? What is the values providing to society? That's the mission. That's the mission of the company. And some companies are completely based on missions. Mission is trickier than vision, but it's not rocket science. You can figure it out. Just ask yourself the question: other than money, why am I in this business? What excites me about this business? What excites me about coming to work every day or putting long hours in this business to grow it? Other than money, what excites me? Why am I not in a different business or a different industry? Why? I have choice, right? Nobody forced me to be in this business. Why am I in it? What do I feel so special about it that makes me want to be in it? And what is the actual value that I'm providing to society? So that's the brand mission. So far we covered brand essence, brand vision, brand values, and brand mission. 4 elements so far, right? 4 elements. So what is the 5th element? The 5th element is brand benefits, right? So these are very easy to identify. It's like, what's the advantage of dealing with your brand? Is it to give someone a sense of service, quality, fills a certain need for them? What you see, your product benefits, what your company provides as actual tangible benefits, or actually intangible as well, for people. So actual brands and solutions, product benefits. What are you providing to your audience, your target audience? Brand benefits, easy to identify, all right? So the last part, the last element, the 6th element is the brand personality. Brand personality also is not difficult to identify, but is very, very, very important. Why? Because if you think of a brand as a human being, and you're creating this human being, the psyche of this human being. So what are the most important elements for this person? The most critical. I'm not talking about the vision. This person wants to be, we're going to make him a doctor in the future. That's the vision, right? The best doctor. So that's not what I'm talking about. About the most critical aspect of a human being. When you are creating someone or a certain entity, right? A live entity, what are the most critical elements? The essence is very important because you want to know what this person is all about, right? The most important ingredient. The essence is important. Second is the what is the personality, right? What kind of personality does this person have? Are they friendly? Are they aggressive? Are they caring? Are they kind-hearted? Are they approachable? Are they, it's very important. You're creating an entity, a certain entity with certain characteristics. So you have to identify those characteristics. They will have an impact on every single asset that you build for the brand, right? The personality, right? And the third element is what? The values, right? That's what makes an entity what it is. It's not the vision, it's the values, it's the code of conduct, it's the requirement. This is a must, minimum requirement for operation, code of ethics, right? So that's what constitutes. This applies to human beings and it applies to companies, right? So when you want to judge a human being or evaluate a human being, you say, okay, what are they all about, right? And what are their values? Do they have any values? Of course, everybody has values, but some, higher than others. But so what are their values? I want to know what is important to them. I want to understand this person. And third, what type of personality are they? Approachable? Are they kind? Are they friendly? Are they aggressive? Are they energetic? Are they lazy? So when you have these three elements figured out, these three elements, they constitute the heart, the psyche of the brand. And that's what's critical. The other three aspects of the brand are more about communication, right? Communication in the future, like vision and motivating people about the mission and the brand benefits, how to relay that the brand benefits to your target audience. So it's all about operational. But about creating the brand, these three elements are super important: the essence, the values, and the personality. And these will be critical for building brand assets, from logo, brand identity, visual representation of the brand assets like website, brochures, marketing collateral, any kind of social media, any kind of communication. When you write something, what are the actual messages how do you create the messages for your brand, right? What do you think about? Oh, what's a good message to say? No, you go back to the brand model. It's like, we are about this and this and that. And this is what we're going to talk about in social media. These are topics that are relevant to us. This is within our brand. It's in line with our brand. Communication. This website representation or this logo is in line with our brand personality, right? Or brand representation. So anyway, I don't want to make this video too long because it's the first of many series of many videos delving further into the topics of branding and every single aspect that I talked about today. But I just wanted to give you a full overview because this is it seems like a very simple model, blueprint, and it is. But just applying it is the actual tricky part, right? So when you have the model, you have to abide by it. It takes discipline to finalize it first, to agree, to finalize and not change it. It's strategic. You cannot change your brand model every 2 months, 3 months. You can't, right? You will lose consistency. So, and then you can take it and as it's your compass to build your brand and grow your brand in the future. At least you will achieve consistency in your branding if you apply this model. That's the least thing you can achieve, by applying this model. And of course, the good scenario is you will help your brand grow. It'll get the respect, it'll get the recognition, and it'll get the understanding of its main attribute. It won't be an ambiguous brand, right? What's this brand all about? I don't know, right? We don't want that. We want clarity. And that brand modeling will give you clarity as a business owner or executive, first and foremost. Second, if you are clear about your brand, you can actually communicate it better. And that, therefore, your audience will be clear about the brand. And everybody wins when that happens, right? Thank you. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.